Hey, what's going on? How are you? I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. This is actually episode 213. And the topic of this particular episode is influence versus popularity. And before I get started, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate your support. So, once again, influence versus popularity. And we all know what both of those words mean. To influence, obviously you can be a positive influence or you can be a negative influence of other people. Popularity, you do things just to become popular, so it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, you want people to pay attention to you, so you will sacrifice your morals, your character, all these different things, your principles, just to be popular. Okay, so with that being said, um do you want to be a positive influence on others, or would you just be the kind of person that would do just anything for popularity? And it's important to understand the differences, like I just said, between the two, because that's going to depict what type of person you become. And the reason why I say what type of person you become, when we were born and our parents raised us, there's a certain way that we was all brought up. There's a certain level of raising within your household, and there's a certain level of expectations for all of us. I am positive of that, the way that we were reared, right? So in my household, it came down to being a good person, being faithful, understanding the importance of being a self-starter, having morals, having character, having integrity, having principles, um, understanding that you're going to be responsible, respectful, and accountable for what you say and how you act towards others. Self respect and respect for others. I was raised in a Christian household. So the values and the morals that went along with that um, were steep in my upbringing. Okay. So to the point that even now, at my age, I understand, even though God called my mom home many, many years ago, there is nothing that I'm going to do, even at my age, that's going to take away from the way that I was raised. Okay. Now, if I decide to be popular, and if I decide to throw away the way that I was raised, as I just said, as I just, explained, because I want to be popular and I want to be famous or whatever the case may be, or I'm doing it for the money, whatever, right? That's a choice that I made, but I'm throwing away everything and all the principles and everything that my mom and how she raised me. I'm throwing that away to do just anything to be popular. Okay. If I decide to stand on those principles and those morals and the character and everything I just said, and I want to be a positive influence to others, forget the popularity, because guess what? Being a positive influence to others means that you're going to be responsible for everything that you do, your actions and your words, right? So if you're going to be a positive influence to others, sometimes your positive influence is going to be unpopular. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes your positive influence on others is going to be unpopular because you're not going to stand by and allow somebody to do something, especially if you love them and they're your friends or they're your family and you care about them. You're not going to sit there and allow them and watch them do or say things just to be popular in the eyes of other people when you know it's wrong. Your influence of positivity is going to stunt and stamp out that popularity that they so want or chase because it's not right. So when you're doing that, that means other people who are popular, they're doing everything to be popular. they're not going to like when you come along and say, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't treat that person that way. They're not going to like it because guess what? That's not popular to them. It's unpopular because you're telling someone to do the right things. Your influence is not a negative influence, it's a positive influence. And the popular crowd don't like it because you're trying to steer this individual down a positive lane and have them do the right things. And it's not about popularity, it's simply about doing the right things. That's so important because nowadays, believe it or not, right is wrong and wrong is right. It's an interesting thing when you travel down this road where popularity is more important than morals. Popularity is more important than treating people the right way. Popularity is more important than making sure you're standing on a code of ethics where you would rather do the right thing than to be popular, than to be rich, all these other things, because I'm going to share something with you that's so very true. Money comes when you're around good people. I'm going to say it again. Money comes when you're around good people because it lasts longer when you're doing good business, when you were working hard, when you're doing things with ethics behind it and in front of it. You get a chance to stand the test of times with people when you are doing business that way. Now, and there are others, I might add, that want to be around you and they want to work with you because you are a good ethical person. So money will come. It may take a little longer to find those kind of people because meanwhile, you may have people that are popular and they pop in and all that, but they're doing everything they know they can do just to be popular, just to make money, just to manipulate other people, all of that, right? But here's the catch. How long do you think you're going to be around when you conduct yourself that way? Not long. That's a short-lived proposition. It really is when it comes to big business. Because after a while, you may hear the term, and I've heard it growing up many times, there's honor amongst thieves. No, it's not. No, it's not. There is no honor amongst thieves. There is no honor when you're not doing the right thing. There is no honor in greed. There is no honor in seeking a higher stage or getting on a higher stage or platform when you're manipulating people because you're so popular. You may get the crowd to follow you, but you have no morals. You have no code of ethics. You have no principles. You have none of those things. So after a while, people who are following those type of individuals, when they finally wake up, they understand, okay, you may be popular, but you're not liked. You may be popular, but you're not respected. You may be popular, but you don't have good people around you. So who would want to be around those kind of people for long stretches of time? That's my point. That's why that is short-lived. Be a positive influence on others. Be a positive influence on others. That is going to stand the test of times. It really is. It'll stand when things are not going right. It'll stand when you may not be having a great day. It will stand when people see you and they know that you are an ethical individual and you do have morals. Your influence is respected. Your influence will go longer. Your influence will live longer. Your influence will take you a lot further than somebody that's popular because they're just doing anything to be popular. That's one to grow on. Your influence will last longer when people respect you versus popularity when you're doing anything to manipulate a group of people that in a short period of time, they're not going to respect that, especially when they open their eyes and realize what you really are. Influence over popularity. I'll take influence any day of the week. I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I'll see you next week. Take care.